This is your Friday Night Blitz, brought to you by Sanderson Ford.
Good morning and welcome to our high school football Friday Night Blitz coverage. Let's get things started with our game of the week, the Brophy Broncos at the defending Division I state champion Hamilton Huskies.
Let's go Broncos! We're number one! Let's go!
Here we go, a defensive battle in the first quarter. Hamilton with a 3rd and 6 on their own 44. Sam Sasso's pass intercepted by Muhammad Oliver. He returns it all the way to the Huskies' 6-yard line. But on 2nd and goal, Brian Woodward fumbles the handoff, and Waylon Cunningham recovers it for Hamilton. 9 minutes left in the first. Hamilton with a 2nd and goal. Sasso keeps it himself, and the Huskies take a 7-0 lead. And then take it late in the second quarter. 1st and 10 at the 10. Sasso hands off to Tyrell Smith. Smith gets all the way down to the 4-yard line, and that sets up the next run, a 4-yard run into the end zone by the Smith. Huskies up 14-3. Hamilton moves to 2-0 on the season, beating Brophy 26-9. Desert Mountain looking to get into the win column after losing to Brophy last week. Last night, the Wolves playing in their home opener against Notre Dame Prep.
When your tails and it's head, so you want the toss, you want to hit first.
In the first, Kyle Allen hands off to Deion Warren for the touchdown, and it's 7-0 Wolves on that play right there. Still in the first this time. Allen finds his favorite receiver, Mark Andrews, but Andrews fumbles the 10-yard pass, and Notre Dame recovers it on the 11-yard line. Big play for them. Notre Dame quarterback Thomas Lehman gets picked off then by Greg Frasco, and Frasco's going to take this one back for the touchdown. 14-0 Desert Mountain. Second quarter, 2nd and 1 for Desert Mountain. Allen hands off to Spencer Chilton, and Chilton finds the end zone. This one all Desert Mountain. The Wolves get the win 45-3. Last year's Division II state champion Tucson Ironwood Ridge in the Valley to face the Apollo Hawks out in Glendale. Apollo takes a 21-7 lead into halftime. Then in the third, Ironwood Ridge on their own 3-yard line. Dylan Key fumbles a snap. He tries to recover it, but Apollo falls on it, and the Hawks get the touchdown. That makes it 34-21. Apollo with the upset win over Ironwood Ridge, 35-28. MDN, a big game in Tempe between the Chaparral Firebirds and the Marcos de Niza Padres on the first drive. Padres quarterback Joshua Eckley finds Luke Wynn in the end zone, and Marcos jumps out to a 7-0 lead. But the Firebirds come right back on 1st and goal. Elijah Castro takes the handoff, 21. A couple of missed tackles later, and he's in for the touchdown. That ties the game at 7. Padres on offense, and check this out. Eckley buys a little time and then airs it out to Jake Lagunas in the back of the end zone, and Marcos scores from 25 yards out. They miss the extra point, but the Padres take a 13-7 lead in the first. Marcos goes on to win the shootout in Tempe, 56-45. The Basha Bears on the road in Peoria to take on the Centennial Coyotes. Air 15 overhead for this one. The Coyotes up 18-0 in the third when quarterback Zach Werlinger drives the Bears down the field and finds tight end Trey Null in the end zone. The Bears are on the board. Centennial goes on to win this one, though, 32-17. The North Mustangs in Ahwatukee taking on the Desert Vista Thunder. Theme night at 32nd and Pecos. The Thunder student section hunting a little prey. Big special teams night for the Thunder on 4th and 8. DV fakes the punt, and Saxton McDonald picks up the first down. And then on the next play, quarterback Cole Van Raphorst, yes, he is the son of former ASU Rose Bowl QB Jeff Van Raphorst, goes 30 yards for the score to put Desert Vista up 7-0. After a 3-and-out by the Desert Vista Thunder defense, Jason King fields a punt at his own 40-yard line. King goes left, back right, cuts left again, and he's gone. 60 yards on the punt return. DV up 14-0. The Thunder dominate North in this one, 60-6. The Seton Catholic Sentinels hosting the Maricopa Rams out in Chandler. Second half action. The Rams with all the momentum. Elijah Alvarado takes the ball straight up the middle for 22 yards to give the Rams their first lead of the game, 21-14. The Sentinels having special teams problems. A high snap leads to a safety, and the Rams extend their lead 23-14. There's that snap. But the Sentinels get it together, putting together an 11-play drive with some great running by Antonio Campanella, who caps off the drive with a 1-yard touchdown run. Seton goes on to win it 34-23. The Agua Fria Owls out of Avondale making the trip south to Tucson, taking on the Canyon del Oro Dorados. In the second, CDO running back Marquise Page takes the Owls drive, starts the Owls drive with a nice gain. Same drive, Page plows through for the touchdown to tie the game at 7. CDO goes on to win this one 48-21. Well, in football, you're always looking for a way to give your team an advantage. For Mesa Mountain View, it meant making a few phone calls and bringing in some outsiders experienced in developing toughness and teamwork.
July 31st, 2013. Well over 100 degrees. 65 Mountain View football players about to go through 12 hours of intense training.
I was trying to give these kids a little bit more of understanding of they can do 20 times more what they think they can, but how do I create that experience?
So Coach Chad DeGrenier invited the Navy SEALs to the school's East Mesa campus.
I was nervous for sure. I was like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen. You know, when you think of Navy SEALs, you look on the internet, you see the videos that they go through. When they told us we were doing SEAL Fit, we went on YouTube and we looked up SEAL Fit and we saw these evolutions that these guys went through and we're like, okay, we're gonna end up doing this and it's gonna be crazy.
After a classroom orientation, the players head to the field, and that's when it hits them.
As soon as you come around the corner, there's 15 guys yelling and screaming at you and spraying you with hoses in your faces, and you drop down and you start armor crawling on concrete. And at first, I was like, okay, I look over at my teammate and I just started kind of laughing. I was like, okay, this might be kind of fun. But after about 10 minutes, you're like, okay, this is the worst thing I've ever done.
I was pretty excited, though, and nervous at the same time, though, too.
12 hours later, 65 players emerge, closer as a team, knowing they've accomplished something no other high school football team in Arizona has ever done.
Is the transformation of what they believe is possible. They had that belief out there, but it was just a figment of their imagination. They really do now believe in each other.
There's no other high school in the state of Arizona that's done this and has experienced this, and it kind of gives us that upper edge, and it also kind of brought us all together.
How did we do that? We didn't think it was possible. Like, we just thought it was going to be so hard, but we finally figured out that we can actually do 20 times more than we expect.
The Mountain View Toros football team came out of the blocks beating Boulder Creek in week 1, 24-19. But for senior Chase Funk, the Navy SEAL Fit training was well worth the effort, even before last week's win.
It's awesome, and it was crazy, but it was a great, awesome experience.
Coach DeGrenier summed it up like this.
They've definitely earned the right to wear a Mountain View jersey on Friday night next week.
And by the way, Valley Vista Monsoon out of surprise played the Toros tonight, or last night I should say. Mountain View wins the game 46-23.